have a full house today. Hi, everyone. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, actually. Let me share my screen. You guys will be amazed by the topic today because this is very interesting, and I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for um, this class. This class about um, how conversations are going to change everything. So after this class, we're gonna answer your questions. If you follow what I posted in the community, you can put your questions there by the time that we finish this presentation, and then I'll answer those. But before that, I would like to go over this presentation with you because as I coach more people, I realized there are certain areas that a lot of people are having difficulty. One of them is going out of their comfort zone to be able to create conversations, to be able to create those opportunities, because most of you know that the opportunities goes to people who are not invisible. Opportunities goes to people who are actually actively are going after the opportunities. You cannot sit out there and hide yourself behind your application and wish for the best. By now, most of you know about this. But today, things will be different. So today, I'm going to talk about how you can benefit from actively creating those opportunities for yourself. Because there is a job application dilemma, and most of you know that applications are not going to work anymore. Most of the people who join my community, they know that they have been applying 100, they have been sending 100 applications per day. It doesn't work anymore. And it's not that it doesn't work anymore, it's been a few years, it's been at least 10 years that sending application doesn't work anymore. And you guys need to have a network connection آشنا به قول خودتون. But the thing is, آشنا or connection in a new country, in a new world, requires effort. It requires you to put effort to build those connections. It's not like connections are not handed down to you. A lot of people have this misconception that the connections should come from friends or family. But I'm here to tell you connections come from your own effort if you know how to make those connections. So you need to understand that networking is what it leads to opportunities. And all the traditional methods are outdated, guys. So I am going to talk about a lot of these impacts that only one connection can change your life. And most of the people who get jobs, they know, they can relate to what I'm talking about, because there was that one connection, one person, one interview, one manager, one that is only that one person that put a trust in you and decides to give you that opportunity, and that opportunity will lead to next opportunity, will lead to next opportunity, and everything will prosper from there. But the single conversation that can open the door, you need to perfect that. You need to I was just having a conversation with another person, and he was saying, I go to a lot of interviews, I cannot pass them. And when we look at his story is broken, guys. He goes to interviews, he is not confident. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't practiced it before. A lot of you go to interviews and try to talk about your resume. That's not how it works. You need to have a brand, you need to have a story. Whoever's tell the best story wins. There is a book on that I talk about in my courses. So when you engage authentically with others, you create genuine opportunities that transform your career trajectory. And before you can start these conversations, you need to understand how real conversations create opportunities. Okay? You need to learn how to have direct engagement with decision makers, how you can radically change your job search. Because as you stop hiding behind the application, opportunities will show themselves to you. Because a lot of job seekers, guys, they remain invisible. They tend to take the easy pass. You know, easy pass is go to apply on Indeed. Easy pass is go to LinkedIn and apply easy, 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 easy. Just apply. Because you've been told that you need to apply, you just do that and you feel good because you are used to that. You think that if you apply, you did your own part, and then you wait, nothing happens, you become depressed. I call it the hiding syndrome. You try to hide behind the application. At the same time, you think you're doing the job, but it's not the job that you're supposed to do. This is the first mindset shift everybody who joins my community learn, that here, guys, you don't hide. You become active. You show your face. You show your brand. You talk about your brand. You have the ability to promote your brand. Be it you're looking for a job, be it you're an entrepreneur trying to promote your business, being your business owner trying to find more clients. You need to learn that opportunities don't come to you. You need to go put yourself in front of those opportunities, and that starts when you learn how to talk to decision maker. Decision maker could be anybody in your world. Decision maker are people who have jobs, and I'm not talking about recruiters. Recruiters are the medium between you and those decision makers. And when you land a job, you need to, when you start your work, a lot of you on this call, I see that a lot of you are older members of our community. You already got your job. Now the question is, you need to identify your decision makers in the company that you work for. Because if you don't know the decision makers there, you cannot go up the ladder. You cannot get a promotion. You cannot you cannot make sure you're not going to be laid off soon, right? So understanding decision makers, having a fruitful conversation with them, having a meaningful conversation with them, these are all the techniques that you really need to learn. And what as you learn these techniques, you are taking proactive steps to connect, which can lead to meaningful relationships and unexpected job offers. That's why somebody goes from $60,000 in a toxic environment to $110,000 job offer. The other person went from $80,000 to $130,000. Like $50,000 gap, like almost double your income, is not something not serious, guys. It changed your home, it changed your car, it changed the quality of a relationship, it changed the quality of your household, it changed your relationship with your spouse. It can change anything, everything in your life. These are big money we're talking about. Big money comparing to the level. So if your level is 60K, 100K is a big jump. If your level is 100K, 150 is a big jump. If your level is 150, 250 is a huge jump. So everybody who joins our program, they come on a level. You need to know if your level is so low, guys, you're not welcome here. I'm already telling a lot of people. A lot of people come here say, "Oh, I don't even have job. I cannot support my basics." Okay, go first. Find a job that supports your basics. Be a Uber driver. Do something. Get a general job. Like support your basics first, because if you cannot support your basics, you cannot put time to and learn about the techniques that will take you from your current status to the next status. So you need to have some sort of basics, and you need to know about that. You need to know if you're an $80,000 person right now, or $100,000 or a $200,000. Then based on that, we will help you to design a career that you want to go get, and then we'll teach you how to go there. And it all happens by networking. It all happens by building those meaningful connections and relationships so you can go get wherever you want to be. So from now on, everybody who joined my programs know the shift is from application to engagement. You're not a job seeker anymore. You are a brand that is going to help companies. You are a brand that is going to engage in meaningful conversation with companies. You are a person who understand what is happening in that company, and this is your pitch. Your pitch is what you tell them about yourself, about your experiences, and how you can solve their problem. And at any level, you can solve some sort of problem, and that problem is easily advertised. A lot of companies advertise about their problems. You can easily take that from a job description. Job description is there to tell you that, hey, this is our problem, come solve it. You just need to understand how to talk about your experience to match that. And we extensively, I talk about it and we help you practice it. That's the difference between mastermind and the free zone. That in mastermind, you get active coaching, you get to do these things every day. You get to practice every day. That's how you change a mindset. That's how you change a skill set. Because if you don't practice something, you just listen to it, exactly like this webinar. If you keep listening to this webinar without taking action, nothing happens, nothing changes. So in the new training that I'm going to do, it's a workshop, we will help you to identify decision makers. Who are the decision makers? How we can find those decision makers. I also talked about it in the mastermind. So in the mastermind, a lot of my members know where to go about how to build that LinkedIn network. So creating that network in LinkedIn is not going to happen randomly. You cannot randomly create a network. Network, guys, think network. Network is you have to have intuition, you have to be smart, and you have to learn the techniques. There's three pillars to that. And based on that, you put the dots together. And once you have that dots, you have that engine, you can influence your network. You can influence those decision makers. And then we help you how to craft messages, what to send to these people, how to get on a conversation with them. And most importantly, how to talk over the phone. How many of you, by a show of hand, tell me how many of you are comfortable picking up the phone and calling someone, calling a recruiter and ask a question about a job posting? How many of you do that? This is the most important skill that you will take away after this workshop. So most people will never step outside their comfort zone, guys. You need to learn to come out of comfort zone, to engage directly with decision makers, and start these conversations. Because the reluctance to initiate real conversation is why most of you remain stagnant or remain silent or invisible. The real opportunities goes to people who are not invisible. You have to become visible, and this is the most single important thing I teach in my courses. It's branding. What is your brand? How do you create the brand, and then how do you promote the brand? And these two are the infrastructure of any job. Because think long term, guys. Imagine it's 2 months, 3 months down the road, and you got a job. Okay, whatever salary, I don't care. You have that job. How do you stay in that job? Without a proper brand, you cannot even stay in job. I get a lot of DMs and messages on Instagram on a daily basis. People sending me, hey, I got this job after 2 months, they let me go. I got this job after 1 month, they didn't want me anymore. They laid me off. Blah, blah, blah. Why? Because those people don't understand branding. Those people don't have a brand. Those people cannot keep a meaningful conversation. Conversation, having a fruitful conversation is regardless of your native language. It's nothing to do with that. Some people can, if you're a native Farsi speaker, a lot of people cannot even have a meaningful conversation in Farsi. It's nothing to do with your language. It's the skill that you need to learn. If you learn to have meaningful conversations in Farsi, you can learn the same thing in English. It's like singing, right? If you can sing in Farsi, you learn the lyrics and you sing it. You can sing in English, you learn the lyrics. That's it. You just learn the lyrics of that song, practice it, and then you sing in English without knowing the English language. A lot of people don't know English, but they sing in English, right? So you need to learn to sing. We teach you how to sing, right? Sing to get to those opportunities. And that is exactly what we're going to do in the new workshop. The new workshop, you will learn from me how to pick up the phone and talk to recruiters. What is the dynamic? How do you approach a conversation? What questions to ask? How do you respond? And then I want you to do the same thing, like exactly like interview identity shift workshop. In the interview identity shift, most like more than 90% who attended, they reported that they shift their mindset completely because they learn how to present themselves first, and then they get to practice it. They get to record a video for me and give them give their pitch, and then we'll review that. That's how. And then every week they attend the Tuesday weekly calls and practice it, because if you don't practice it, you don't get better. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing in my new workshop. In the new workshop, guys, I'm gonna teach you how to pick up the phone, how to find these people, how to call them. And then I'm gonna teach you what is a conversation should look like. We're gonna do it live together. We're gonna cold call. If you understand cold call is the infrastructure of any business. It's the infrastructure of any relationship. And you need to learn cold call. If you and once you learn it, then you need to practice it. Then we'll help you how to practice it. We'll teach you how to practice cold call. But you need to be ready to step outside of your comfort zone. And these are the techniques and the actually methods to get you the job, because the traditional methods is not working anymore, and we all know that. Like traditional application process, nobody's going to look at your resume anymore. Like, be it apply thousand times a day, nobody cares. It doesn't open the door, because companies know now most of these paper application can be fake profiles, even if they're real, but they might not end up liking the person. That's why they hire you, and then 1 month after they fire you. There is a misfit between where you go and what they wanted. But if you learn how to connect and start that conversations, you will find your sweetest spot. I always say getting a job is like marrying someone. Okay, you need to find someone who is exactly like, not exactly, who is in your own level. Okay, if two people who are in the, but by level I mean mindset. If two people are the same mindset level, they find each other and both of them are happy. So it's the same about job. That's why I say you need to understand your level right now. Are you a 60K, 80K, 100K, 150K, 200K, 300K? Know your level, know your skill set. Based on that, we'll make sure you max out the next opportunity that you're getting. So if you're 80K person, you can go to 85, or you can go to 90, or you can go to 100, or you can go to 120. How to go from 80 to 120? Those are the insiders we teach you. Like, we teach you to jump. We teach you how to go above and beyond your expectations, right? So I want you to remember that embracing discomfort will help you grow. So growth is born from discomfort. If you're comfortable, always, if you're comfortable, too comfortable, know that something is not right. If you're not comfortable, you are improving. This is a simple rule, okay? Make sure to monitor your comfort level. If you're very comfortable, something is odd, something is off. And engagement fuels opportunity. You need to start being engaged. And engagement is not just sending an application and hiding and waiting. No, engagement is, I mean, actively engaging, changing the whole lifestyle to an engagement. And challenge yourself to connect. I know it's not comfortable to connect with everybody. It's not comfortable to initiate that conversation. It's sometimes not comfortable to pick up the phone or call. Like, that is the most uncomfortable thing I know a lot of people are facing, even in business, because handle a few businesses, and I realized a lot of people are shy, and they don't want to be shy, but the culture, the environment forced them to be shy, right? You first like change that mindset. We were having a conversation with one of the members, and she was talking about her kids that she was telling me, I observe my kids and I realized they don't care. If they want something, they cry to the point that they get it. And then we said, yes, because this is intrinsic. This is intrinsic. You are born. Everybody, everybody in this world are born with that skill set to ask for what they want. But as you grow up, the community, the environment, the government, whatever you're in, they put restrictions on you. And after a while, you realize that you are like a bird in a cage. You cannot reach out. You feel bad if you reach out. You feel bad if you ask for something. You feel bad if you speak up. And this is exactly where I want you to rethink and challenge yourself to start connecting. Think of your 1 year old. Like imagine you go back in time and you are 6 months old. Now you want milk. You cry, you go after your mommy, you go after your daddy, you ask for milk, you break everything just to get what you want. And this is exactly the mindset I want you to have. From now on, for the next job and opportunity you have, I want you to break everything. I want you to break internet. You need to be able to break internet, like break LinkedIn. How you break that? By a good presence, by a good branding, and working in masses, in a scale. If you don't have a job, there's no point of sitting and watching because you don't have a job anyway. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? Like, come on, guys. You need to challenge yourself to do better, and be bolder. And this is the beginning of the movement that I'm going to create for Cold Connection Mastery Workshop, guys. And I know a lot of you have this problem. As I coach more people, we have 3,500 members in the free community. Wow, this is amazing. And we have 100 people in the mastermind. Wow, like 3,600 people under my radar. Imagine how many people I need to manage and I need to teach at the same time. This is a lot of work, guys. But now, after talking to all these people, I came to a conclusion. Most of you need to learn this skill, which is called connection mastery. You need to learn how to befriend a stranger. You need to learn how to make a connection with a stranger. This is the most important skill you can carry out of this workshop. Because guess what? You need to engage first. You need to do branding. You need to promote your brand. And I don't care if you're looking for a job or if you're a business owner looking for a client. These techniques are the same techniques that you need to use. These techniques are the same techniques that I use to bring you to my community. I use to promote my business. You, like any other business owner, use to get more clients. You use to get more interviews. So these are the same universal techniques that you need to learn to connect to strangers. We call them Cold Connection Mastery Workshop. And guess what? Because I'm going to work with you in a very small group, it would be limited to a certain number of people. And I only want qualified people. I want people, not just observers. I don't want a bunch of other observers that just watch what I say. I want them to pick up the phone and practice what I teach them live with me. So it will be difficult. It will be uncomfortable. That's why I'm not gonna accept everybody in that program. It would be limited to a certain number of people. And those people need to be qualified. And how they are qualified, follow my post. Like I have a series of 7 posts, 1 out of 7, 2 out of 7. So that post, I'm filtering you, right? I'm getting to know you, first of all. You're engaging with me. And I know, because guys, these skills I'm teaching you, A lot of them I learned during my MBA program. I did a 1 year MBA. Like it was a 2 year, but I did 1 year and then I dropped out. I needed that 1 year, and then because I only took the marketing courses out of it, and that MBA was like the person who were teaching marketing. He was the the advisor to Stephen Harper, the prime minister, and I knew that. Like I went to his courses intentionally because I knew who this guy is, and then based on that, I he helped me get a job to exactly practice this code connection mastery. So I was in the job every day, 10 hours learning about cold connection mastery, how to connect with strangers. It was a experience of a lifetime, and I can tell you that was the most single experience of a lifetime because I learned so much. The techniques that I got out of that, the training and job and all that, I felt like any doors can be open to me. Like from then on, I never felt desperate anymore because I knew how to open opportunities for myself just by that skill, like just by this cold connection mastery. You can open any door for yourself anywhere in the world. Like put me from like take me from here, put me in the Spain, take me, take me and put me in Africa, take me from here, put me anywhere in the world. With these skills, you can build a life. You can find you can strategically find people who you need, connect with them, build relationship with them, ask for opportunities, get those opportunities, and boom, you are good. And this is very important. That's why it's not for everybody. I don't want everybody to have this skill set because you cannot get them anyway. Like if you're not qualified, you cannot get them. So you have to be qualified to be able to get them, absorb them, digest them, and then practice them. So that's number one. I'm not going to announce this workshop on social media because, again, it's qualification. People on social media are different than people in this community. So it will be only private to the people in this community, right? You need to pass that filter from social media to this community to be able to qualify. And then there is an investment to that. So it's not going to be free because it takes a lot of my time, a lot of my coaching, and these insiders are invaluable. I know that I cannot put a price on any of my insiders, but we have to because we want serious people. We don't just want random people. So there would be investment, and the investment will go up as we get more people, right? So if we will open it to the first 5 or 10 people at a certain price, early bird price, very discounted. Then we're gonna open it to the next 10 people at the lower discount, and then it will be like added to the mastermind for a bigger price for the original price, which is a few $1,000s. But in the discounted people, like you will get it way with almost free. Let me put it this way: you get it almost free because I want to help you and I want to build this program. As so many of you, I usually build my programs with people for free, and in return, I want them to be qualified, to be super excited, to actively do what I tell them and get results. And that's how it works. And we will do that in a short registration period. So when the registrations opens, it will close like in 10 minutes. So you have to be ready at the time that we tell you that it will open so you can join. So this was a part of like day 3 of the 7. So I'm gonna send 4 more posts about this cold connection mastery, and that's how we filter people, and then we announce the registration period. Good. So far so good. So let's get to questions. I would like to answer questions. As you know, if you go to, let me share my screen again, but this time I'm gonna share another page, and it would be the first pin post. If you go to the community, the first pin post, guys, there are questions underneath. So if you have any question, we are on time, but I'm gonna stay and answer a few more questions here because I see questions posted. So If you have any question, make sure to comment it down below so we can talk about it. Okay. Let's